At the beginning of the story, we see a girl lying in the middle of the road trying to end her life. A car soon appears on that same road. As the girl sees the car speeding toward her, the fear of a painful death overwhelms her. She changes her mind, quickly gets up, and moves to the side of the road. The driver doesn't stop to help her. He simply ignores her and drives away as if he saw nothing. The girl's name is Lisa. Her life hasn't been going well. In fact, today is her daughter's birthday. But her daughter is no longer alive. Moments later, the man in the car realizes he made a mistake by ignoring her. He reverses his car and comes back to Lisa. The man named Adam rolls down his window and asks, "Are you okay?" Lisa replies softly, "Yes, I'm fine. Nothing happened to me." Adam tells her, "This area is deserted, and the city is quite far from here. If you want, I can give you a lift to town." Lisa agrees and gets into his car. During the drive, Adam asks, "What were you doing alone in such an empty place?" Lisa explains, "Today is my daughter's birthday. I miss her so much, but unfortunately, she's no longer in this world, and now I'm completely alone. There's no one left I can call my own." After hearing this, Adam says, "So that's why you were lying in the middle of the road, to die?" Lisa replies, "I don't want to die. I just want to meet my daughter once, somehow." A moment later, Lisa turns on the car radio. A news report is playing. The reporter says, "A serial killer is on the loose in the nearby forest. Earlier this morning, he killed 2 more women. The police don't have a picture of the suspect yet, but they do know he's a white man driving a brown car, and he has a cross tattoo on his right hand." Hearing this, Lisa freezes in terror because the description matches Adam perfectly. She looks at his right hand and sees the same cross mark. Fear floods her body. Before she can do anything, Adam suddenly slams on the brakes. Lisa's head hits the dashboard hard, and she loses consciousness. When Lisa wakes up, she finds herself trapped inside a strange underground bunker surrounded by solid steel walls. She panics and screams for help, but no one comes. She notices she's wearing a strange suit and a watch-like device on her wrist. She tries desperately to remove it, but it's tightly locked, impossible to take off. Eventually, realizing escape is impossible, she collapses to the ground and starts crying. Suddenly, the chamber door opens. Lisa sees a tunnel on the other side, with a faint light glowing at the end. She realizes that if there's any way out, it must be through that tunnel. Encouraged, she crawls into the tunnel, but as soon as she enters, the door behind her shuts automatically, trapping her further. Her wrist device begins to beep loudly. An 11-minute timer starts counting down. Lisa understands that she must get out within 11 minutes, or she'll be trapped forever. She begins crawling quickly toward the light. But as she gets closer, the exit door ahead starts to close slowly. Lisa speeds up, crawling with all her strength, but by the time she reaches it, the door has completely shut. Panicked, she cries out for help, but hears nothing but her own echoes. Then she notices another narrow side tunnel nearby. It looks extremely tight, but she has no other choice. Summoning her courage, she squeezes into it and, after a difficult struggle, manages to make it through. She finds herself in an area with 2 paths, one going upward and another downward. Unsure which way to go, she chooses the upper path and crawls forward. But soon the floor below begins to rise, threatening to crush her against the ceiling. Terrified, Lisa scrambles forward as fast as she can. Just before she's about to be crushed, her hand reaches the end of the passage and she narrowly escapes. Breathing heavily, she feels a brief moment of relief, but her challenges are far from over. The danger ahead is even greater. Her wrist device beeps again. It's halfway done. Only 5 minutes remain. As she moves forward, Lisa sees a body lying ahead. When she gets closer, she realizes it's a burned corpse, its condition horrifying. The dead person is wearing the same kind of watch she has. Lisa understands. This person must have been another captive, trying to escape, but failed. Seeing this, Lisa's last bit of hope nearly fades. But she forces herself to stay strong, pushes the charred body aside, and crawls onward. When she glances at her timer again, she sees only 2 minutes left. She speeds up, but suddenly iron bars block her path. From the tunnel walls, heating pipes emerge, releasing intense heat. Lisa realizes in horror that the whole tunnel will soon be filled with fire, just like the place where the burned body was found. Panic sets in, but then a small hatch opens behind her. She quickly crawls backward into it. The glass door of the hatch seals shut right after she enters. As her timer hits 0, flames burst from the pipes, engulfing the tunnel in fire. The whole passage blazes with infernal heat. Thankfully, Lisa's chamber is completely secure, saving her life. After a few moments, the fire stops and the pipes retract. The chamber door opens again, forcing Lisa out into the tunnel. Even though she doesn't want to move forward, the wall behind her pushes her out, locking back into place. As soon as she steps out, her wrist device resets again. Another 11-minute countdown begins. Lisa moves forward carefully, but suddenly the ceiling starts descending toward her once again. And the ceiling came down so close that it nearly crushed her. Only a small gap remained through which Lisa could barely crawl forward. She was completely helpless now. Tears streamed down her face as she cried uncontrollably. When she looked at her wrist, the timer on her watch was about to end. That meant in exactly 11 minutes, the fiery flood would return through the tunnel and burn her to ashes. Lisa thought, dying such a horrible death is worse than trying one more time to escape. So she gathered her courage once again and began crawling backward on her hands, pushing herself along with sheer will. After moving a short distance, the tunnel ended, opening into a large water tank. Lisa was exhausted. Thirst had taken over her completely. Lying there weakly, she cupped her hands and drank from the tank to quench her thirst. Then she glanced at her watch. Only 8 minutes left. She saw no other way forward except through the water. Taking a deep breath, she dived in. The tank was huge and she couldn't tell which direction to go. She swam around, searching desperately for a way out, but there was none. Even the spot where she had entered was now sealed. Her lungs were running out of air when suddenly a hatch opened above the tank. Lisa swam up and forced herself through it, gasping for breath as she emerged. She took deep, heavy breaths and began moving forward again, but she was utterly drained. Every step felt heavier than the last, and soon exhaustion overtook her. She collapsed midway and drifted into sleep. Suddenly, a scream echoed through the chamber. Someone else was there, someone calling for help. The voice reignited a spark of hope in her heart. She immediately got up and followed the sound. Then, out of nowhere, a trap door opened right beneath her, revealing a pit filled with boiling acid. Lisa barely managed to pull back in time. The acid was so strong it could melt solid iron within seconds. Cautiously, she tore off a small piece of her clothing and dipped it into the acid to test it. Within seconds, the fabric turned into black ash. Seeing that, she became extra careful, balancing on the pit's edges, using her hands and feet to cross over. Just as she was about to make it across, her knee brushed against the acid. She screamed in pain. Fortunately, her special suit prevented her leg from dissolving, but it left a deep wound. Ignoring the pain, she pressed on. The voice calling for help was getting closer now. Finally, she reached a section blocked by a metal grid. Beyond it, a few feet away, was another grid, and behind it stood a man wearing the same kind of suit and wrist device as her. Lisa shouted, "Hey, listen to me. We're both trapped here. If we help each other, we can get out of this place." But the man had clearly lost his mind after being trapped for so long. He alternated between cursing her and apologizing. Then he started muttering, "They'll come back soon. They'll kill both of us," before bursting into insane laughter. Lisa then noticed that his watch had started a 60-second countdown. The heating pipes emerged from the walls again. This time, a small, safe chamber appeared right between Lisa and the man, large enough for only one person. Now, either the madman would survive, or Lisa. The iron grids in front of them suddenly lifted. Both of them sprinted toward the chamber. They reached it at the same time and started fighting viciously. At times, Lisa managed to shove him out. Other times, he pushed her away. As the countdown neared 0, Lisa mustered all her strength and kicked the man out of the chamber. He tried to pull her back by grabbing her leg, but the glass door of the chamber slammed shut, cutting off his hand. He screamed in agony. Lisa looked at the severed hand and saw a cross tattoo on it. Realization struck her. That man was none other than Adam, the serial killer who had drugged her in the car. All of Lisa's confusion cleared in an instant. She had thought Adam was the one who captured her, but now she understood that Adam himself had become a prisoner of this nightmare. Within seconds, her 11-minute timer hit 0. Flames erupted from the heating pipes, and in mere moments, Adam was reduced to ashes. Lisa trembled violently, horrified by the gruesome death she had just witnessed. A few moments later, a robot emerged from a small tunnel. Its head resembled a skull, metallic and terrifying. But it didn't harm Lisa. Instead, it treated the acid burn on her knee with precision. Lisa asked, "Who are you?" "Why did you bring me here?" The robot didn't reply with words. Instead, a mechanical tool extended from its mouth, connecting to Lisa's suit. Through that link, a flood of flashbacks surged through her mind, memories of the night in the car when she discovered Adam's secret. She saw Adam attacking her with a knife, stabbing her in the chest and throwing her out of the car. As she lay dying, she saw a white light descending from the sky before losing consciousness. Back in the present, Lisa finally understood. Those aliens had saved her from Adam and brought her here. But why they did so remained a mystery. The robot left without explanation. Lisa now realized something else. These beings didn't want to kill her. They wanted her to survive the game. That was her only way out. Determined, Lisa stepped out of the chamber to continue forward. Adam's severed hand still lay nearby. She noticed some symbols engraved below the timer on his wrist device. As she tried to decipher them, a rotating fan blade started moving toward her. Lisa jumped back, narrowly escaping, and crawled through a narrow hole into an upper tunnel. Suddenly, she heard footsteps above her. They stopped right above her location. A metal hatch opened, and a terrifying creature dropped down. It looked human, but growled like a beast. Its skin was burned black, and its eyes glowed white like stones. Then Lisa noticed its missing hand. Her heart froze. It was Adam, burned alive and now transformed into a monster. Adam could no longer see. His eyes were destroyed, but he could still hear. Lisa began moving quietly, inch by inch. But suddenly, her watch brushed against the metal floor, creating a faint clang. Adam roared and lunged toward the sound, chasing her furiously. Just as he was about to grab her, Lisa slipped through a narrow tunnel on the other side. Unable to see, Adam couldn't follow her. Lisa continued crawling until she reached a point where 2 new tunnels appeared ahead. She stopped, breathing hard, unsure which path to choose. When Lisa couldn't figure out what to do, she guessed and entered the tunnel on the left. Outside the tunnel, there was a room surrounded by glass walls. On those walls, Lisa could see her entire life, from her birth up until the day she gave birth to her daughter. There, she also saw how her own carelessness had led to her daughter's death. Overwhelmed by guilt and sorrow, Lisa broke down in tears, remembering her little girl. Just then, she noticed Adam coming after her again from the ceiling above. Lisa ran as fast as she could, escaping into another tunnel, and what she saw there filled her with hope. At the end of that tunnel, she could see the bright blue sky. Seeing freedom so close reignited her courage. But to reach it, she had to cross a path full of sharp, barbed wires. Only 60 seconds were left. In the next moment, heating pipes extended out of the walls, ready to fill the place with fire once the timer hit 0. Without wasting time, Lisa crawled under the barbed wires. The spikes tore deep into her back, ripping her flesh. Blood poured out, and she screamed in pain, but she ignored her wounds and kept crawling toward the open sky. Behind her, a chamber opened inside the tunnel, and Adam quickly hid inside it. Lisa, covered in blood, kept trying to move forward, but she had lost too much blood. Her vision was fading, her strength was almost gone. The timer hit 0. In the very next second, the tunnel was engulfed in flames. But before the fire could reach her, A trapdoor opened beneath Lisa, and she fell into a chamber below, unconscious. After some time, Lisa opened her eyes, only to realize she was back at the same place where she had started. Everything she had done, every ounce of effort she put into escape, all had gone in vain. Seeing this, Lisa completely broke down. Once again, the robot came near her to treat her wounds, but Lisa stopped it. She said she didn't want to go through all of this again. She just wanted to die. The robot obeyed. A syringe extended from its mouth and moved toward Lisa. Just then, Lisa remembered the strange symbols on Adam's hand. She realized those symbols might be directions, a way to escape. Using her own blood, Lisa drew those marks on the wall, carefully studying them. Then she realized they were arrows showing the direction of the right tunnels. The first arrow pointed left, meaning she had to take the left tunnel the first time two paths appeared. The second arrow pointed right, meaning after that when two tunnels appeared again, she had to take the right one. Lisa thought, maybe there are similar symbols under my wristwatch too. Realizing this, she asked the robot to heal her wounds. Once her wounds were bandaged, she set out again, this time with new hope. Since she had already crossed these tunnels before, she moved ahead easily and stopped near the pit filled with acid. There, she burned her watch in the acid and removed it from her wrist. On her wrist were the same kind of symbols as Adam's, though slightly different. Holding her burnt watch, Lisa moved forward until she reached the point where she had first chosen the left tunnel. But according to the symbols, the correct path this time was the right tunnel. So, she entered the right one. Deeper inside, she found two more tunnels. According to the marks, the left one was correct this time. Following the symbols on her wrist, Lisa kept making the right choices and moving forward. But soon, Adam was after her again. Thinking fast, Lisa threw her broken watch into one tunnel to distract him and hid inside another. Adam followed the sound and entered the tunnel with the watch. Lisa checked her wrist and froze. The tunnel Adam had gone into was actually the correct one. Now Lisa had no choice. She quietly entered the same tunnel. The tunnel felt strange, like she was walking through the belly of some huge creature. Moving slowly, she saw her watch lying ahead. But Adam was there too. Since Adam could no longer see, Lisa quietly picked up the watch. But just then, the 60-second timer started beeping. The alarm alerted Adam, who immediately started chasing her again. Lisa ran back the way she had come. The countdown had begun. The heating pipes were extending from the walls, and an emergency chamber had opened. Lisa rushed into the chamber and hid inside. Adam reached there too, but it was too late. The glass door had already sealed shut. Lisa smirked and showed him the middle finger. But unexpectedly, the heating tubes retracted without releasing fire, and the chamber door opened again. Adam lunged at her. Lisa fought back fiercely, pressing his head down with her legs. The moving chamber wall pushed her forward, crushing Adam's head completely. Finally, Lisa was free. She continued forward until she reached another split. Two tunnels. According to the symbols, the right one was the final path to freedom, but suddenly, a girl stepped out of the left tunnel. Lisa froze. Tears filled her eyes. It was her daughter, Nina. Since Nina's death, Lisa had lost all will to live. Her only wish was to see her daughter once more. And today, that wish came true. Nina softly said, "Mom, don't leave me alone again." Lisa cried and said, "No, sweetheart, I'll always be with you." Nina smiled and said, "Then come with me, into the left tunnel." Lisa, still crying, said, "Nina, I don't want to lose you again. But the truth is, you're already gone, and my path lies in the other tunnel." Saying that, Lisa turned away. Nina called out to her, but Lisa, heartbroken, kept walking. Once outside, Lisa broke down crying again. Then, gathering her courage, She entered the right tunnel. At the end, she saw the open sky once more. Excited, she ran toward it. But her path was blocked by 3 massive rotating metal blades, moving rapidly up and down. Crossing them meant risking her life, being cut into pieces. But Lisa had no choice. She had to escape. She noticed the pattern. The first blade dropped every 4 seconds. She waited for the right moment and dashed through just in time. The second blade dropped every 3 seconds. She took the chance and passed that one too, but the last blade came down every 2 seconds. Crossing it seemed impossible. Still, driven by the desperate desire for freedom, Lisa tried and made it through. But her leg got caught between the blades and was severed. Screaming in agony, she kept crawling toward the end of the tunnel. There, she saw the open sky again. She reached out her hand, but instead of air, her hand touched a screen. The open sky was just a video projection. Lisa's eyes filled with despair. She whispered, "I did everything you asked me to do." Then she began laughing hysterically. The heating pipes extended again. The 11-minute timer was about to end. But this time, the pipes didn't release fire. They quietly retracted back. Suddenly, the ceiling above her opened, and a brilliant white light shone down on Lisa. Her body began to lift off the ground and rise into the light. Moments later, she woke up beside a beautiful waterfall. A peaceful smile spread across her face. Nina was there too. Lisa asked, "Am I dead?" Nina replied, "Your body has died many times, but now you are truly free." Lisa asked again, "What do I do here?" Nina smiled and said, "Here, you just live, nothing else." Then we realize the place where Lisa now stood wasn't Earth. It was somewhere else, a place as beautiful as heaven itself. Shortcut. Explanation. When Lisa was driving with Adam, he stabbed her and killed her. After her death, she went straight to hell, where her sins were cleansed, and in the end, she reached heaven. And with that, the story ends.